Just like the Great Salt Lake, I'm salty AF, baby.
If life is a circus, then this dancing bear is in the center ring. Hello!
I'm Hunter Harden.
And I'm Papa the Bear. And welcome to The Real Housebears.
Woo! Your podcast is tubular.
I really did not. Well, if you couldn't tell from that little cough, we are back in the hot closet.
Hot closet.
This is like better than a puppy place.
After quite an incredible vacation.
Did you get my intro?
I totally did get it.
Totally.
Yes,
totally
that's
tubular.
why it took me off guard, because I put it together and then tickled me.
It wasn't a person.
Because at first I was like, what is he wooing about? And then I was like, he sounds like a surfer. And then you said tubing. And I was like, they went snow tubing. Like, all of that went through my head.
And when was the last time you heard tubular? I think that's going to be
high school.
It's going to become my new word.
Oh, is that going to be your new word?
Tubular.
I don't think so.
That's too much. Nobody wants that.
We're going to try it out.
You try it.
I am.
So welcome back to the pod. We're so glad to be back in the hot closet after, again, a really incredible vacation in Kentucky.
Kentucky's amazing, y'all.
Like, Hunter had never been to Kentucky and really didn't know what to expect, and we had the most wonderful visit.
It was probably one of the best vacations we had. Dude, Kings Island was tubular.
Yeah, the greater Cincinnati area, we got to experience it all. It was really great.
It was amazing, but dang, this West Coast boy that lived in the high Sierra Mountains his whole life has never experienced Kentucky allergies.
Yeah, if we have any listeners in Kentucky, you know exactly what he's talking about.
It legit put me in the ground the last 2 days there. I didn't even leave the hotel.
This is not healthy.
Yeah. So Hunter is terribly allergic to Kentucky, and I'm still allergic to Utah. So we're best of luck to us today.
Yeah, good luck, everybody, to listen to both of our Phoebe's voices.
We will cut out all of the coughing, I promise.
We have a system here where we hold a finger up, and then we stop and we cough.
Yes, we'll do our best. But we have 2 episodes to get caught up on.
Yes.
So let's not waste any time in the sex lies and sister wives.
Ooh.
You know, I really thought the sister wives thing was just going to be just like a soundbite that they used to get our attention. Mm-hmm. I'm disappointed to find out it's part of the story.
It's exactly what the whole thing is.
But we start off with Whitney and Lisa, best friends. Whitney in her leopard tights to meet Michael at Onyx Gym.
Hey, we love that.
It's their friendship tour.
It's their new friendship tour. Whitney is going to make Lisa do fun stuff that only fun girls do.
And apparently, is this exercising?
Well, I mean, yeah.
I guess
it requires a lot of core
core
strength
and
for
stretching.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. It's
Okay.
exercise. Absolutely. I have a friend.
I wonder if they will hold us up.
You know what? I'm being a big guy. I'm always afraid that things won't hold me up, and I'm going to be the one to fall to the ground because I'm so big. So I don't trust things like that.
Let's do it.
This feels like a great place to meet men, honestly.
I would. You know what? I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
If Whitney will go with us.
I'd rather be at church right now.
Let's call her right now.
Or Lisa.
We'll call her right now because we have her phone number. Humble brag.
Oh, too bad we can't use the Beverly Hills name
By
drop
the way, we
soundbite.
forgot to say, thank you, Bike, for sending us some sweet gear.
Yes, I'm wearing my bike shorts. I'm wearing my bike shorts.
I'm wearing the Bike shorts and the Bike shirt. And y'all, if you ain't wearing Bike,
You're not a winner.
you're probably wearing
Because
something else.
winners wear bike.
Yes, that's right. But thank you, Bike. These are like super retro awesome, and I love them, and I'm going to be wearing them every day to the gym.
I already wore my bike tank to the gym this week, and it's in the dirty clothes. That's why I'm not wearing mine today.
I'm mad.
I haven't been to the gym once because I have been so sick.
It's because you're already perfect.
Oh.
Naked.
So Lisa, when you're having a good time, Lisa is smiling a lot.
Well, that's what she does. I'm so mixed feelings about Lisa in this whole episode, so it's I can't put my finger on it.
Like, I am so confused. I'm so confused.
But she's always happy.
You can tell, yeah, it's weird because Lisa is not a person who is shows a lot of emotion generally until she's forced into it, I think. And just seeing her emote happiness sometimes doesn't seem genuine.
Yeah,
only
it's
when
just
she's
weird.
when she's with her kids.
Oh yeah,
you can
that's
tell.
easy. You can
Jack
tell
and
it's
Henry's
easy.
around. She is.
But no, you
thrilled.
always get this feeling like she's putting on the act a little bit too hard, almost.
And
maybe?
I wonder, is it just because she's not comfortable with feelings,
or
is
just getting to know people,
or is she shady and she has no interest in being friends with Whitney, and she's putting on an act so that people will leave her alone?
I can only hope that that's not her mentality.
I really hope it's not the latter.
I would venture to say by the end of the season we'll probably find out. But Lisa is optimistic now.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
And everyone's made amends except for Lisa and Heather so far.
Yeah, maybe
in
they're
a good-
next.
Yeah, hopefully so. Lisa's like, we need show names.
Dancer names.
They're going to go on tour and have show names. And Whitney, she clearly already had her
Yeah,
name
she
picked out.
already has been
She's got her stripper
brainstorming.
pole persona, probably. That's probably her stripper pole persona.
I'm Randy. Randy Starr.
And she could go both ways. Randy Starr, Star Randy.
I like Randy Starr. I don't
Randy
care for
Starr's
Star
better.
Randy very much.
Yeah, Randy Starr, yeah.
It's a lot better than Jasmine on the magic carpet like Aladdin.
Jasmine on the magic carpet ride. That is the most classic go-to stripper name.
I know. I don't want to make fun of her.
I just wrote bless.
I know. But like Lisa thinks that Randy Starr sounds like a stripper name. Sounds more like a gay porn star.
It absolutely does. You're
Randy
right.
Starr?
Randy does sound like a gay porn star. You're right. There probably is one named Randy Starr.
100%. Like Jasmine alone sounds like a stripper name.
Yeah,
when I think
Jasmine-
of stripper names, I think of like Chantel, Portia, Fantasia Cream, you know.
Diamond.
Yeah, things like that.
Pam.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute.
Don't make me laugh. I'll cough so hard.
Well, this scene really did show a fun side of Lisa. But again,
I'm rooting for Lisa.
Well,
I know.
once we
I
talk
know.
about the catering situation, we'll talk about that.
Okay, we'll discuss.
Let's go over to Mary's house. She hates her
Oh
husband.
my God, this is the most uncomfortable. Okay, first of all, I wanted to say this later in the episode, but I'm going to say it now. In the first season of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Mary was just kind of touching base and being like, why is everybody like yelling at me? This season, she is over everything and is so nasty. Every second, every scene that she's in, she is either cutting someone down or just being disgusted.
I need to stop being a backseat driver.
I bet she wasn't prepared for all the backlash from season 1.
Well, she's allowing...
Or is she just showing her real self now?
She's allowing herself to be tagged on social media now.
Oh, is she?
She didn't do that in the first
That's
season.
real growth. Well, my first line really is just, she hates her husband.
I start thinking of places he can go.
It's just so...
This time he is cooking, but Mary is concerned that he won't cook something that she can really eat.
What do you mean by that, Bear?
Well, certainly don't cook the white rice, the short grain rice.
The short grain rice? Well, he likes the long grain.
No, she likes the long grain, but he keeps cooking the short grain rice.
No, I think it's opposite.
Let's see. Oh, right there. Mary loves rice.
Oh.
She likes long grain rice.
Oh, okay.
There's the short rice.
I was going to be like, call us in right now.
But anyhow, she treats Robert Sr. kind of like how she treats Robert Jr.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She picks everything apart that they're doing, and they're never doing anything right.
And don't get comfortable.
Okay, her saying that when she was so excited to see him come back from the quarantine because he was in Florida,
For 6 months.
which I feel he was probably really happy about that too.
Absolutely.
But when he came back, she said she was happy to see him and stuff, but then he got comfortable. What does that mean?
It means that he started being himself, probably.
Like being comfortable in his own skin and home?
Yeah. But, it could mean stuff like, I forgot that he's the kind of person who leaves his dirty clothes on the floor 1 foot away from the hamper.
They don't even stay in the same room.
True. I mean, she really just wants to be alone.
She really does.
Or something that comes up later. Or she might actually prefer to have a relationship where there's actually passion.
I go by vibe. If a person's vibe is good, then I'm good.
Not with him.
Not with him. No.
Okay,
no.
I was gonna be like, not with him.
Him out of the equation.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah,
oh, of course.
she hasn't had
She
passion
wants
for
love.
him
She
since the
sees
beginning.
all these other housewives and how their husbands react with them. She's like, well, I don't even want Robert Sr. to do that with me, but
Yeah.
she wants somebody else to do that.
The
with her.
passion they had in the early relationship was her inheritance.
And the ordered by grandmother, which was that even true? That was in the will.
Who knows?
I don't know, but
What I do know is that when we were in Mexico, we walked by all these fish kiss spas, and I never once even wanted to try it.
I can't wait to get kissed by a fish.
well, it's because there's like they don't clean the water. They don't switch it out.
Well, it's because the fishes are eating it. The fish are eating it.
Fishes.
I'm going to throw you in with the fishes.
The fishies.
Elisa arrives first, Jenny comes next, then Meredith. Lisa is obsessed with having great feet.
Are you ready to have your feet kissed?
She gets pedicures like, how often did she say? She said,
Sometimes 2 times a week.
first of all, I would love that just for the relaxation of it all. I love a pedicure. Plus, my husband is really into feet, so I like to
Only
keep them
your
nice.
feet, really. You can't say at feet in general. Some people's
My
feet are
feet.
gnarly.
Right. He's into beautiful feet like mine.
You have Flintstone feet. Like, they are perfectly square and big. They are awesome.
Vilma! Jenny has had a similar fish treatment in Thailand, but apparently the fish were like shark.
Well, they've already eaten a ton, probably.
Oh, yeah. Meredith asked Lisa about her day with Whitney, and Lisa's like, I used to be a gym rat, but as soon as I had kids, I just quit going. How does she eat nothing but fast food? I guess she
I
just
don't
never
get
sits
it. Like,
still.
if you don't, I mean, in my head, I always felt that if you are like that younger and you keep eating that way forever, your metabolism never has a time to.
And she probably
Put
eats
back.
tiny portions.
That's true.
She probably eats tiny
and
portions.
she doesn't stop moving.
She's like, a kid's meal from McDonald's is more than enough.
It's like, I don't even get that.
Lisa had a little bit of jealousy about John going back to the gym back in the day. And once she just realized that, hey, it's because you're going to the gym and I'm not, then she was okay with it. I don't ever need to go again. I just had to identify it. Once I identified it.
But you know what? Identifying is the first step.
Yeah, maybe that is. I don't remember what all the steps are, but
But he's doing stuff to improve himself on his own time, and I think she doesn't give herself that kind of love to herself. But I'm like, girl, you're getting pedicures 2
Twice
times
a
a week,
week,
and
yeah.
now you're getting fish eating your feet.
Right? And then they talk about how Dewey is in such good shape and looks great for his age, but Jenny doesn't know how old he is. She's like 50-something.
I guess those things are sort of important. You know what? You don't even know when.
I don't know what my own age is,
Yeah.
but I know what yours is.
12.
Some days. Then Jenny brings up the more children situation. This really isn't as much as just, I don't want to risk my life about being, like, I don't even want him to have to raise another kid again.
I don't have the energy to do this anymore.
Despite, like, he brings up adoption and all these other
Yeah,
things. She's like,
surrogates
I don't want to have to raise another kid.
Yeah.
And she shouldn't have to.
I don't want to have to chase a baby around. But I'm like, you know what? Your kids are kind of old enough to help you out.
No, she doesn't want to. She doesn't want the
I know.
responsibility.
Well, anyways, I'm not even telling her to do it because only 3 children out of 13 pregnancies. Those aren't great odds. And that, can you imagine that on your body?
No.
I can't.
I can't imagine it on your heart.
I just couldn't imagine going through that experience.
Well, Jenny gets a little bit deeper into the story about things that we haven't heard before, and we learn more about the stillbirth, and that Jenny was unconscious through the whole thing because she had a C-section, and Dewey kind of had to live through it.
And I think she said later it was her second child born. So that's just...
And Dewey was in the OR the whole time.
He saw... Can you... I can't imagine them doing CPR on a baby that's smaller than your cell phone.
Yeah.
It hurts my heart.
Yeah. And in their culture, men shave their heads when they lose someone to death, so that's how Jenny found out.
I thought it was very respectable, but that's right out of a movie of how she found out. Like, him coming in, her waking up, him coming in, shaving his head, and then saying, I'm sorry that I couldn't protect you. And I love that he said, I couldn't protect you. Like, not just sorry that we lost your child, but I can't protect you from this hurt now.
Yeah, it was devastating.
Oh.
I don't want to talk about it now.
You know, I love it when Lisa does show affection for other people. Like, she gets really choked up in her confessional talking about Jenny's situation. I like seeing that part of Lisa. Like, in season one.
That's why I'm very...
Well, this time,
sometimes
you can see when it's genuine and sometimes you can't. Like in season one, when...
But I think her heart is very genuine.
Oftentimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
But like in season one, when Meredith and Seth were breaking up, you know, she was really upset about that.
Oh, yeah.
You could tell that was genuine.
She's just like me. If I see someone crying, I'll start crying.
But then, like when she's under attack and starts crying, there are no tears, and you can tell that that's kind of fake.
When Lisa cries, it's because she doesn't want to deal with it.
I'm not going to say anything about that.
Well, we'll get to it, because I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it.
I've done hysterical crying without tears.
Well, I think that Lisa doesn't normally lead with emotion, so overall she's not comfortable with emotion. But sometimes she can't control them, and that's probably why.
Oh.
Moving over to Barnoff Jewelers, where my sugar daddy.
Where's my sugar daddy at? Is he working?
I know, I love her. I love her saying that. She's got little nicknames for everyone, but she calls us the Bears.
Yeah.
She's our mama bear.
She titled herself Mama Bear, and we're like, you can have it, girl.
You can have it.
You know I'll go to jail for you.
You'll be our Mama Bear. Where's my jewelry?
Jen, you could buy us anything. Like, literally.
Something cheap.
I only have 2 pieces of jewelry that I'm very excited about. A Tiffany's dog tag, and then my wedding ring, but it's just a placeholder right now, but it's still meaningful.
Yeah, Jen, why don't you buy our upgraded wedding rings?
Oh my gosh.
Well, Jen wants to buy a gift for her friends. Gifts are her love language.
But maybe getting like a gift to mend hurtful feelings in the group. Maybe not getting a snake.
That was a
No
bad
matter
suggestion.
how many times they tried to make that sound rational, I'm like, well, the snake sheds its skin, but then it's a newer snake.
And then you all hold snowflakes in the opening credits of your show.
And snowflakes are perfect.
So why wasn't that the first suggestion?
No snowflake is the same. And I love how Jen says, like, well, this whole group is completely different. There's Jews, Mormons, Pentecostal, Muslims, Catholics, but she doesn't once mention anybody's race.
Yes, and that's what people don't understand about Utah in particular. You know,
it is a melting pot.
I see a tweet probably every single day saying, I wish Heather Gay would quit talking about being a Mormon. I'm like, you guys don't understand. It's not part of your life around here. It is your life around here. It's your
community.
You identify by your religion in Utah. You're rarely, in Salt Lake City. I don't know outside of the city.
If you just say Utah.
Well, you know, out in Salt Lake City, it's not even so much a concern about race or ethnicity, because Salt Lake City itself is very colorful with a lot of different cultures. But outside of Salt Lake City, that's where
all the
story.
families are being built.
Right, and there's predominantly white Caucasian areas. But people don't really understand that when you're in Utah, your identity is your religion, not necessarily your race.
It's true. I mean, they literally made it a lifestyle.
And I thought that was a perfect example of that.
Yeah, I loved it how Jen said that.
Even with all of our different personalities, we come together as one, and we make something beautiful out of that.
Jen ultimately spends around $3,600, which for six other ladies, that's not bad.
It was going to be way more expensive.
Yeah, I thought it would be too. Moving over
Oh, gosh.
to Heather and Ashley Gay.
I love Ashley so much. Whenever I see her, she makes me smile.
I love to see her and Heather together.
I know. They are very much alike.
I like to see Heather with any of her girls. They're a real tight team. Mm-hmm. Well, they're looking through the college admission options. Ashley's now stuck between USC Santa Barbara, which I thought last week that's where she was going to go.
Oh, yeah.
Or San Diego State, which I love San Diego, so I can understand why. And I also love that Ashley's like, maybe I should have more roommates because that's like more built-in friends.
I
love
love the way
so sweet.
That's the way she thinks. Like she's gonna automatically be best friends with those people that are gonna be roomed with her.
Yeah, but threesomes are like the hardest to navigate.
Yeah,
you know, when there's one person's always feeling a little bit left out.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, you do. There is a way to like choose or meet with same people.
Yeah.
But I thought it was adorable. I thought that was the
She's
sweetest.
so excited to meet new people. That's what she's excited about.
But you know what? Because she has a mom who's encouraging for that. Heather never had a sex talk with her parents, and boy, can you tell in this scene.
I know.
When a man and a woman love each other very, very much.
That's just so hard for you to say.
Oh my gosh.
This was a sex talk from a woman who learned about sex from a pop-up book.
A farm animal pop-up book. Okay, like when you started off with saying when a man and a woman love each other, like that is the stereotypical way you start any sex talk.
She can't even keep a
She can't even
straight
get
face.
through it.
She knows.
And even Ashley's just like, Mom, are you really starting this right here?
But I love her real explanation of sex. She's like, remember when Stormy went out and clearly got involved in some crazy cat orgy and came back and never wanted to leave again?
Yeah, it's because she wanted out so bad she did everything too fast.
Yeah, so that's what sex is. She got Grisabellaed.
Oh my God. Grisabella, that's so awesome.
Well, you know Grisabella was in cat orgies in her day.
Oh, totally.
Well, it ends up being a positive conversation about intent versus desire, so it ended up great. It ended up great.
Yeah.
Ashley thinks that she and Heather are a lot alike, and Heather's like, uh-oh, don't be like me.
She's like, no, you're not. No, you can't be like me. And I'm like, Heather, you're very PC, to be honest with you.
That's another thing that people don't get about Heather. Like, sex and dirty talk really does make her terribly uncomfortable.
She flirts and stuff. She can flirt and stuff,
She's
but
got
like,
the game like you've never seen.
oh, she's got game,
before.
but if it goes anywhere underneath the clothes, she can.
Or across the line of anyway.
Yeah.
Like when we went out to the Amy Grant concert the other weekend, someone, I don't know who it was, sent her a text that had a link in it, and she opened it, and it showed a picture of a big naked guy with a big old dong, and she was horrified.
Oh my God!
by
Do
it.
not let her look through. Let her look through our phones.
Oh God, no, God no. So I was. She, as much game as she has,
I am a modest woman.
she is very not
innocent.
comfortable with sex
She's
talk.
very innocent. I love it. But she ends it with saying, "Don't get pregnant or a disease love you." That was perfect.
That's what you need to
That's
know.
all you need to know.
And then you need to know how to somehow get to Nino Viejo. Because clearly the Uber driver couldn't find it and almost sent Whitney and Justin down a dark aisle.
You're like, where is she taking us?
They recap the Silks. Lisa's like, I might not have been
Fond
great at the
memories.
Silks. And Whitney's like, but she was great on the pole.
What?
John and Justin need to hang out more, so they're glad that the women are hanging out.
Hooray, toast.
And, you know, I heard on, I think it was Bitch Sesh this week, that they're like, I don't think this felt like men deserve their own scene yet. And I was like, I tend to disagree.
Oh my.
I tend to, but again, we might be a little bit biased in that since we've met Justin personally.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, they have a delicious looking Vita tequila cocktail. And it turns out that the owners of the restaurant just so happenstance, if you will, to be the would-be caterers of Angie's event.
Coincidence? I think not.
That was a coincidence.
Well, Detective Whitney is immediately suspicious.
In a weird way, I think Whitney thinks she's on CSI, like Salt Lake City. Like, it's literally weird to me.
So Aubrey and Marco show up to offer the Vita shots, and then Aubrey immediately, I can't believe what Angie's doing to you.
And also, hasn't there been time that's passed between that incident and this incident? How did they not call each other and already talk about this? I feel this is very premeditated.
There's no way it wasn't staged.
There's no...
Here's
I mean,
what I do
both
know.
of them, the chef and the owner came to them, gave Vita tequilas, and then immediately started going into it.
Here's what I do know.
Oh, they did give the food, too, so there was a little bit of time.
I do know that Angie and Lisa have been friends for 20 years. Mm-hmm. And in the previous episode, Angie said, I believe Lisa could have meddled in this situation.
I think Lisa is capable of meddling in my event because she doesn't want me to be friends with Whitney, and she gets very territorial. So ultimately, I think this all boils down to control.
That, to me, was all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
But what I also know is that we've heard from more than one housewife, personally, ear to mouth,
Yes.
that there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that don't make it to camera and don't and texts that haven't been revealed about Lisa Barlow and her happenings. Well, that's not a good word.
I don't know. I love Lisa. I don't know why.
Here's the deal. Whether she intentionally or unintentionally messed up the catering situation, she did.
She had something to do with
And
it.
even if she didn't, this was still a setup to prove her innocence.
Yes, it was.
Whether she was guilty or innocent, this made her look more guilty.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And Whitney calls bullshit right away.
Oh, she's not...
She's not even going to have it. She's got to cleanse her aura.
Oh.
When she was doing that, I was like, oh, yeah, do this. Do this,
Cleansing my
do
aura.
this.
Cleansing my aura.
I'm calming myself down. I'm fixing my aura.
Well, the guys are just kind of in shock.
They all they can do is rub their backs.
what else can you do?
I'd be like, I'm going to eat this because we're probably not going to be able to. I'm going to just start eating right
I'm
now.
just like, John, let's eat, hurry.
Yeah, just hurry it up and shove it in your mouth.
Well, Lisa is as concerned that another friendship is ruined as a client who carries Vita.
Yeah,
She's
not
like-
only a friend, but also a business.
I think the Vita is more important,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? And then Justin gets his confessional, and he's like, darn it, our plans backfired.
I know.
But Lisa is not backing down on this Angie situation. She says that it has nothing to do with her. And again, Whitney has seen texts. You know that she has.
Yeah.
But Whitney also doesn't want to get mad.
Because I really don't want to yell at you right now. Like, I really don't want to yell. I don't want to be mad.
She wants to move on. All of this stress and
But she
anxiety is
just
not worth
really
it.
she really tried to like have Lisa step back from the situation, but like, can't you see how weird and obvious this is on my side?
How are we going to move on?
They agreed to only look towards the future, make amends, but Lisa still looks pissed.
Yeah, she's still, like when they say shots, she starts trying to get into a conversation, like, don't you tell me something, but the shots overpowered.
Absolutely. Sharif is working out with their youngest son, Omar. Omar has grown up a lot in a year. Holy cow.
Kids
I
like
wouldn't
that,
have even
kids
recognized
those
him.
ages do that.
Holy cow.
They just pop up.
Jen starts really momming it up. She is in like mom mode. She's volunteering at the school. And Omar's like, no. First of all, what teenager wants their mom around? First of all. Second, what
Especially
teenager whose
because-
mom is a housewife?
Oh, and she's hot. And, all those guys are going to give him crap. My mom was a very hot mom, so whenever she came around the school at all my friends and everyone were like, oh, man, your mom's so hot.
Well, in season 1 also, Jen didn't show the best side of herself at all times.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
his son knows that all of his friends at school have seen that.
Yeah.
And then, as Jen said herself, he's also holding some resentment because he was there living it.
Yeah, he saw the destruction.
So she's really trying to make up for it. And
She's trying so hard.
I know I need to be a better person all around.
And Sharif he's a wordsmith.
He sure is. He knows exactly how to say
He's like-
how to say things to her.
She's like, I'll go decorate your locker. And he's like, no, you don't need to do that. But, or she's like, I'll come to this and I'll come to that. And he's like, listen, Omar just doesn't want you to feel pressured in case you have to miss something.
Because you are so busy and this has happened.
He's not like, bitch, no one wants their mom around all the time.
You know you ain't gonna have time.
He really knows how to use the right words.
Ain't nobody got time for this.
Right. So, it was sweet, though, that she's trying so hard. And Omar's a great kid. He's got a 4.0. He's thriving.
He's got like multiple gigs after school.
And it looks like he might be on the Sharif Jr. train where he's going to be looking real good in a few years.
That's too much. Nobody wants that.
He's only 15 now. I can't really talk about him now, but
Well, no, of course not.
we'll talk about him in 3 years.
Oh my God.
Mary and Meredith playing tennis is really all about the outfit.
This is a spectacle.
There is no, Meredith is showing up in like this cute little 60s go-go outfit. And
adorable.
Mary has got like this, Heather even gave it a title or a name or a brand, I don't even remember. But Mary only showed up to look good and Mary confirmed it.
Yeah, she's
Like,
like, oh,
I
yeah.
didn't need Mary to confirm that.
She's like, I don't know how to play tennis, but I got this cute outfit.
Yeah. I don't think Mary hit a single ball through this whole entire
I don't
scene.
think she did.
So after the match, they catch up, and Seth's been coming and going, and Mary is so envious. She's like, he's only there 50% of the time. That sounds amazing.
I know. Mary's like, I want that.
But if Mary and Robert don't even sleep in the same room, then why does it even matter?
And she says that it was his decision to not sleep in the same room, and I'm like, that's bull.
From
That
the
was her.
beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning. No, that was Mary.
Mary would change Robert Sr. into a completely different person.
She basically just wants to cut him out of the equation completely and get a whole new person, start fresh.
She's terrified for Robert Jr. to leave because there's no buffer in between them, no one to show her attention to instead of him. And this is where I got a really sense of her missing passion in life and missing, like, living.
I think her seeing all these housewives with their husbands and how they treat them, she's like, I think I missed out on that.
Yeah, there's a song that I love so much. It's all about a woman trying to convince herself that it's better just to have someone there than to feel passion in life. And that song always breaks my heart.
I saw the sign by Ace of Base. I know, I love that song.
That wasn't the one. But she's not interested in even getting to know him outside of being her son's father. And so is she afraid of the change, or is she afraid of dealing with her marriage? I think it's the latter.
I enjoyed myself.
I don't know.
And then I'm kind of, to be honest with you, I'm not, after watching, episodes 6 and 7, I'm not interested in Jenny and Dewey's marriage right now. I am not enjoying
I'm
this.
over this conversation.
It's not like I kind of I need it to have some resolve because I don't like it.
I do not like this conversation at all.
There's been some drama on the socials about, like, Jenny's niece saying it's all been a setup and a lie. And Jenny's like, I haven't spoken to them for 8 years. She hasn't, I haven't even met.
Might be jealousy.
Yeah, you never know. But they're spending some nice adult time together. Most of their adult time is outdoors. That's very different than us.
Yes.
But
allergies.
It goes back to the kids and doing wanting more kids. They should have
more
kids.
I just want more. I just think we need to have more kids.
We have good kids, so we need to make more good kids to share with this earth.
Populate the earth with good children.
You know what I wrote down? That's stupid.
That was. I said that's reaching.
Dewey gets a confessional, and he brings up March 15th when they had the stillborn baby, and he wants to replace her. And he has some genuine tears.
I don't think he wants to replace her, but I don't think he's admitting that. But that's truly what he's trying to do.
Right.
Yeah.
But Jenny's like, after he suggests a surrogate, she's like, no, I just want to have a baby. I don't want to raise a baby. And he's like, well, how about a sister wife?
Are you serious right now?
Girl, I'm taking my nails off, my earrings out.
Seriously, I might take my weave off.
Oh, I'm taking everything off.
And I'm going to I'm stabbing with my heel.
I'm wearing my big rings with the chunks on it.
Seriously.
Because I don't care if other people do that, or even your relatives did that, or even your culture did that. I don't function that way.
Well, you know what? The next episode continues on this conversation.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and take a break.
Okay.
And we'll come back and talk more about how much I'm pissed at Dewey.
I'm so pissed.
I'm pissed.
This is Heather Gay from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and you're listening to the Real Housebears podcast.
Hi.
Oh, I guess that means we're back.
We are back.
Hi. Oh, hi. I love you. Oh.
So we'll get to Dewey and Ginny in just a little bit. But we start off this episode with Whitney, who's on the phone with Heather, who is with Dre at the mall.
I love that she said she was with Dre at the mall.
I do too. It made me want to be there.
I know. I was
we
like,
love to go walk around a mall. Whitney invites her to go snow tubing. Then she calls Jen Shaw. She calls Angie. She calls Mary, who doesn't answer.
Well, her voicemail isn't even set up. Did you hear that?
Are you shocked?
I guess not.
Meredith is in, and then it all stops when Whitney notices that Rocky has peed in the air vent.
Rocky!
Ooh.
And it's winter.
Heat.
Ugh, Rocky. Lisa is picking up baby Gorgeous,
a.k.a. Henry.
9 years old, from school. They both love fast food.
He wants to go to Wendy's. Amen. Y'all, Wendy's breakfast, amazing.
That chicken, bacon,
maple croissant, delicious gold is
good stuff,
so good.
Good stuff. And then they got the cake pops from Starbucks. One of Henry's friends at school is being a jerk.
Yeah, his friend Bleep doesn't want to be friends anymore for some reason.
You know, we've all had a bleep in our life.
Oh, of course.
It's just funny because it sounds just like one of these adult women telling about their lives.
I think you're a great person or a great kid, but you're not.
So Lisa's like, well, I'm going to schedule a little get-together.
And we're going to fix this.
That's how I like to work with my things. Face them head on, like with Whitney.
You go, Lisa.
I love that.
So now, Ginny and Dewey are out for oysters. You know, oysters supposed to be an aphrodisiac, but you know it's not an aphrodisiac? Talking about having more children.
And this time, Jenny brings up the conversation, brings up the kids. Because the second they get there, I'm like, oh, I'm dreading they're going to talk about kids again.
I wonder how much time has passed since they were out snowing.
I think she said a week.
So they haven't spoken about this in a week?
Thank God.
That would be weird for me if they haven't. Certainly they've had to wrap up the conversation. I don't know. It's weird for me. But she's like, I might be mad, but I ain't missing oyster night. Mm-mm. But she gets right into it. Right into it. You know, Dewey was hurt when Ginny walked away after he recommended that he have sex with another woman.
Oh, yeah. You mean when he said, I want to get another woman pregnant? She walked away from him, and that hurt his feelings.
Poor Dewey.
Poor Dewey. Oh, my gosh. You're lucky you didn't get slapped out of that chair.
Right? Well, Dewey is all about that poly life. And, like, listen, to each their own.
Yeah, there's so much polyamory in the gay world.
Absolutely. You're practically criticized for being monogamous sometimes.
Most of the times you really
some circles are.
You get called a prude or something like that in the gay world.
But here's the deal. If you think that you might lean towards polygamy, then maybe you talk about that before you ever get married.
Thank you.
You know?
Thank you.
Before we get married, I just need to let you know, if you can't have any more than like 2 or 3 kids, I'm going to need to have sister wives.
Because I'm not getting on board with that. I'm not even going to start having kids with you.
So she can't wrap her head around it. She's like, well, how does it work? Like, tonight you're going to be at her house, and then tonight you're going to be at my house. Then...
Yeah, like, think about it. What if you're having a really bad day, but he's on a date with one of the other wives?
Dewey's like, well, I have some clients with 5 wives and 40-plus kids. I'm like, that sounds like a nightmare.
I know. I bet that's great family and memories, but that sounds like a pure nightmare.
Yeah. But here's the deal, Dewey. If you can't let go that you need to have more kids to fill that hole in your heart, then how about you offer to stay home and be a house husband and take care of the new babies? Because that's really what Ginny's situation is.
And also, the niece or whatever of their family said, I don't know why he wants more kids because he wasn't even there raising them.
So yeah, I mean, adopt 100 kids if you're going to stay home, Dewey.
Yeah, do it.
Get every surrogate in the nation, you know, impregnated.
I'm going to go on a date with my other husband.
So, but I don't think he's willing to do that. And Jenny's like, well, maybe you should go to a therapist so you can talk about, you know, that hole in your heart that you need to fill. He's like,
did you see how offended he got by that?
I'm not broken.
Yeah.
I'm not broken.
Oh my gosh.
There's nothing to fix.
Ooh. He's like, there's nothing wrong with me because I know what I want. I'm like, no, what you want is the issue.
Well, you know, generous Dewey. He's so generous, that Dewey.
He's on our poop list.
He at least leaves it with, you know, at least I'm willing to think about it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
She's thought about it during the other 10 pregnancies after her first 3 kids where she got gutted out and they all were lost. She's done her thinking.
Oh, did I just say that?
Well, I'm glad we don't have to talk about that too terribly much more. I mean, there is another reference.
I am over it.
Yeah, there's another reference to the stillbirth later, but at least we don't. I can't talk about Dewey anymore.
I just can't Dewey.
Well, let's talk about Meredith and Seth. You know, they always seem really happy to see each other.
Hi, honey. How are you?
I wouldn't. I'd be so irritated all the time.
Seth is not a wordsmith.
No, he is not.
Meredith wants to talk about buying or building a new home, and the only thing that Seth cares about is Mother Nature's cleavage.
Okay, you know the guys at the Night at the Roxbury? That's him.
They're motorboating Mother Nature.
I can't.
That's that dance move.
I know.
That's how you Mother Nature is with that dance move.
Go back to Ohio. Get away from me.
But you know, some people love that he's such a dork. That some people think it makes him even sexier.
I can't read your mind if you haven't noticed. I'm horrific at it.
That's just not my flavor. And honestly, the reason why I'm not a fan of it is because he can never be serious about anything. And that's what irritates me the most.
I will jump on stress grenades all day for you.
Amazing.
Naked.
If I'm having a conversation with you, I don't need any of these frat boy comments towards me. I need to have a conversation.
That's fair. I'll have a
That's
conversation
tubular.
with you like
That's
that.
totally tubular.
Naked.
See, I can't get on that with tubular. Well, I can't
get on tubular.
You're gonna have to.
I don't know if I can. We'll work on it. We'll work on it.
You know, I've been known to be on that pole a few times myself.
Oh my God.
Meredith and Seth went to a discernment therapist. Have you ever heard of that?
I have never heard of that, but I want that job where you just hear the crap from both of them and you're like,
no.
You are now divorced. Like,
you weren't meant to be together. Sorry. Move on with your lives.
Or, yes, and here's some pamphlets.
Right.
You know, it's just, I want that job. I've never heard of it in my
Me either.
life.
I thought it was pretty cool, though. But they've done really well.
But that's cutting straight to the point.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't even hesitating.
Are you supposed to work for this marriage or not? But they've done really well since transitioning now to a marriage counselor. Meredith wants more help at home with the kids.
You know, it's very hard because now Brooks is constantly bugging her, asking her where he should place the Brooks Marks tag label on whatever article of clothing he has in his hands. Mom, where do I put this strap? Should I put it like right here? Or maybe I should do like vertical.
Oh my God, you did not.
Oh, I did. I went there.
I don't even know how to articulate the pain.
When your kids are all over 21, how much help are they needing on a daily basis?
Well, she says they're like real problems now. You know what? I could kind of see that because when I was in my 20s and things that stressed me out, I would call my mom and be like, Mom, this is stressing me out. I need you to deal with it.
But she's talking like she's getting day to day overwhelmed by all the work she has to do with the kids on top of her normal work. I'm like, daily? Like when I was 21, my mom only heard from me when I had great things to tell her or when I needed her help. But it definitely wasn't even on a semi-regular basis.
Yeah, it seems like she's trying to like put out fires everywhere with the kids.
Yes, that's like, maybe you cannot sweat the small stuff so much.
Yeah.
Like, don't get involved in every single detail. Let them be adults. Let them figure it out.
Yeah, which is great advice.
Yeah, it is.
And,
But nonetheless, he agrees to help more, and that's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Naked.
Beauty Lab and Laser, the mothership.
The BLNL.
Oh.
Babe, I'm going to get back to Beauty Lab.
It's the 1-year birthday party for the babies, kind of a 1-year post-opening celebration as well. I love seeing Dre with babies in her arms.
I love it when I see Dre.
Well, I like specifically seeing her with babies in her arms.
Do you?
Like it seemed really natural and cute, and we haven't even got to meet her younger boys yet, and I loved watching her with her daughter. So I like to see that side of her.
I like kids, but I'm just not a fan of babies.
Well, I don't want one myself, and I don't want her to have a baby.
Oh,
I just want her to hold one and let me look at it.
Oh, I don't even
put it away and give it to their mom.
I'm going to be like, well, go wash your hands after that, Dre, because I don't want slobber on me.
Whitney comes in, then Angie comes in, and Angie and Whitney are like, let's give the babies a moment before we talk about the Lisa drama. But after a shot.
Yeah, let's get drunk first. But by the way, so people don't really know that we've actually met Angie.
Yeah, we forgot to mention that in the last episode.
Yeah, so we met Angie at the
season 2
premiere party at BLNL.
Yes, she had just come from Whitney's season 2 premiere party.
Yes, and she had this one long parrot earring, and I thought it was completely intentional because I thought it looked gorgeous. And she's like, "No, I lost the other one." I was like, "But you said she looked like Sarah." Like we both were like, "She looks like Sarah Paulson."
Yeah, and clearly, I heard on Bitch Sesh they said the same thing. Like everyone is in agreement.
Oh yeah,
but I have to say, I think she's a more beautiful version. Not that Sarah Paulson's not beautiful, but I think that Angie is hot stuff. personally.
Oh, that's tight. That's tight, honey.
And she looks cute in that respectable plaid outfit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did Nike fund this birthday party? Because all the kids have Nike shoes and the balloons, which I'm assuming are from Pop Air, Utah.
Probably.
All the balloons are in the shape of the shoe as well. Pop Air balloons, they also did Jen Shaw's for Sharif's birthday party in season 1.
Oh, you better know some trivia. Kingdom to State, who we've mentioned on this podcast, she works there and she was there in the scenes. Yeah, hot blonde from the across the seas.
Seriously. I love it that Heather encourages the baby to just, throw the cake on the floor like a wild Whitney Rose.
And then it does.
And it's a boom! It's not an it, but...
I don't know if it's... Then
he
they
does.
do.
He
they
does.
do.
He does.
They were all boys,
They were all boys, yeah.
Okay. Well, we don't know how they identify, so I'll just say they.
It's quite on brand, really.
Another shot for Angie.
I know. Did you? Yeah, Whitney's like, I can't take this shot. You take it.
And Angie's like, sure.
Sure.
Now that Jen is there, they get into Whitney's dinner with Lisa, and Heather is... this is, again, another great moment when Heather is as much of the viewer as a cast member.
Yeah, she just...
She is fascinated by all of this.
She is.
Like the screenshot, like we watch it on DirecTV stream or whatever, and the screenshot, like the thumbnail image for this episode is just Heather's face in this moment, just like bewildered and excited.
Yeah, she's like, ooh, dish.
Yeah, she loves it. Jen is surprised. She's like, why would you think that Lisa was a setup? Oh, that's
not her style. I was surprised that she said that.
Well, they're tight right
friends,
now.
yeah.
They're tight right now.
Angie is mostly concerned if Lisa will want to be friends with her, and she says no.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen.
But let's fluff your aura.
Oh yeah. No, I did. Yeah.
I'm gonna fluff the aura.
I'm fixing my aura.
But unfortunately, Angie has had a few too many shots to wear those heels on that slippery floor covered in cake and baby spit. It falls right on her butt.
She does.
And then we find out later was escorted to the restroom
to vomit.
Relieve herself of all of the alcohol.
Oh, that sounds much more PC.
I don't like that word very much.
Vomit.
Yes, thanks for saying it again.
Throw up.
No, no. Whitney, Angie, and Connie show up to the snow tubing event first.
I love Angie's all yellow snowsuit.
Looking hot. And did Jenny show up wearing like a silk blouse?
That's what it looked like.
I was like, honey, that's what? That's evening attire.
Right. Angie's a little hungover, and Heather says the same thing that my bear says. Just start drinking again. Hair of the dog.
Yeah, hair of the dog.
Why did they say hair of the dog?
I don't really know where that came from. Maybe we should Google it. Or someone tell us. We're not
Did you just tell me to Google it?
Oh, shh.
Are you kidding me? I'm not stupid.
Well, you didn't know what it meant, so...
How dare you say Google to me? Oh my gosh.
Funny.
Speaking of Googling, Mary is coming, and you can see how disgusted she is already. She has to drive 2 hours with these ladies.
She has to drive. She has to sit in the back of a nice limo.
So she got a Hummerzine. Because she don't want to sit close to anybody.
Well,
anywhere.
let's face it, she just doesn't want to go.
She was forced. I mean, you know what? She was forced to go on this one because she didn't go to any other events in season 1.
She has filmed this entire show from her home.
This is one of my favorite homes.
Seriously. And the producers are like, listen, Mary, in the first season, the first party you went to, you said Jen Shaw's aunt smelled like hospital or whatever.
Yeah.
And then in the next episode, in the next one, you weren't even there. Your name was just brought up.
She didn't go to Vegas?
And it went crazy.
She didn't go to Vegas?
No, she didn't do anything. So they're like, girl, you're coming to these events now.
Lisa is really annoyed that Angie is there, but she's just going to pretend that Angie's invisible. And then the editors, I've never seen them do this before.
I've never seen that before. I was like, that was pretty classic.
They literally show Angie disappearing there
next to Mary. Oh my gosh.
That was hysterical. Lisa gave a really great line though, and I'm going to have to use it as a soundbite again later. When she said,
like, I forgive and forget. And sometimes it means I forget you.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, ooh, you better cut to the core, Lisa Barlow.
Seriously.
Lisa's passing out the champs. Someone asks if it's sparkling water, and Heather's like, no, it'll freeze your ovaries. And Mary's like, no, it'll harden your ovaries.
Get it right. She's such a bitch.
And Lisa is like fascinated. She's like, oh, Mary, that's so fascinating. I'm going to have to Google it.
Is that true? I'm going to have to Google it. And she's not saying that I'm Googling it because I don't believe you. It's I need to Google it if it's true because I need to learn more about this and educate myself.
Or is it, or is it something that you've heard?
Yeah, is it something you've...
I'm not calling you a liar or stupid. I just want to, and plus, she was fascinated. It was a bit nothing.
But honey, you're a preacher. You're not a doctor. I'm not going to just take whatever you saw as like a headline on a Facebook scroll.
Well, Mary is so offended. She took that remark so personally, like Lisa was insinuating that she was stupid.
Out of left field. Never saw it coming, but part of me is thrilled.
Maybe you should Google what Lisa says, but everything she says is a lie.
Oh, did I say that? Oh, gosh, she's just so unlikable.
And Heather's like, go, Mary, get her.
I know, man.
Get her.
Like, Whitney, Jen, and Heather in this whole scene, they are just like, this is awesome. This doesn't have to do with any of us.
Yeah. Everyone's confused, though, and poor Angie was stuck sitting next to Mary.
Oh, gosh.
Lisa tries to even talk it out, and Mary's just, like, not having any of it.
I don't speak to little girls like you. I don't deal with little girls like you. She's so insulting to people.
And then she's like, Jenny, everyone shut the F up. Jenny talks like a big dog.
Oh, yeah.
She uses, like, superlatives. She threatens. She uses big words to be a little tiny chihuahua.
You don't know me, don't attack me. Period.
But Mary's like, you better not use the F word in front of me. And Jenny's like, I talk however I want.
Mary just thinks she's just holier than thou.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't handle her in these scenes because she's just so disgusted and annoyed.
But most of the women can't handle carrying those air-filled bags on the snow.
Air-filled tires. They're not actual tires. It's just the inflates that the inner tubes that go inside.
I've done this before. It's not that bad.
That's not that. But then again, Mary is probably 25 pounds.
Well, and Mary's wearing heels.
Because she has an eating disorder. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's just because we joked about it on the scene before that we were the one that brought it up and made that rumor.
Oh, did I just say that?
But anyways, she's irritated because she has to pull this thing that probably does weigh as much as her, like, honestly.
Maybe. But Whitney, again, has another great light of the night.
If she didn't know what snow tubing was, maybe she should have Googled it.
That was so good.
Gosh, Whitney and Heather are on it this year.
Well, that hill was just too brutal. So Mary only does one pass. She's like, I can't do it more than once.
Oh, by the way, we didn't even mention when Lisa asks Mary after they get out of the car about what happens. Mary's like, Lisa, you're talking down to me. And did you ask me or to Google it because I'm black? What does that have to do with
Lisa had none of that.
Oh, Lisa shut that down right away because that's complete nonsense. What does Google have to do with black? And what's that even mean?
Lisa went right through it. She went right through it. She's like,
nope.
She did better.
Done.
Well, Heather goes to check on Mary after that first pass, and she's like, are you okay? And Mary's like, the snow. And she's like, but are you also okay with Lisa? Heather and Lisa haven't had any scenes together. Mm-mm. As a matter of fact, Heather hasn't had near enough screen time for me.
Oh, well, I mean, I think she's had a lot without having to be in any storylines right now.
Well, I think she's made the most of her screen time because everything 100%. That she says is entertaining and funny. But we need to get to some Lisa and Heather-ness of it all.
Yes. We'll get to that.
I hope so. I'm looking forward to it. Mary says that you got to stay in the good lane with people so that you're not constipated. And yet again, she goes into, this season, she's passed gas. She's talked about her menstrual cycle. And now she's talking about, and Heather did not engage. Heather is not going to talk about poo on television.
Well, also, I don't think Heather understood what she was saying. I couldn't, even with, the subtitles, I was like, what is she talking about? Wait, where did this all... Wait, what does any of this mean?
No one knows.
And then she's like, you have to shove it back in there, to make it right. I'm like, wait.
Is that like a Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston?
No.
Is that what it's like?
No,
Is that what she's talking about?
I can't go there.
Does she have Robert Sr. Bobby Brown?
You're disgusted by the word vomit. I'm disgusted by Bobby Brown and the...
Yeah.
I'm not even going to get into it.
If y'all don't know what we're talking about, you'll have to go back and find some reruns of that Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown docu-series, reality show. I don't know what you'd call it.
It's ridiculous.
Whitney and Angie sneak up in their Bigfoot costumes.
Sasquatch and Bigfoot.
And then Heather
Or
turns...
Abominable Snowman and Bigfoot.
There you go.
Sasquatch.
And then Heather turns into my husband. Y'all don't know this. Hunter's ultimate crush is the Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
Bigfoot can get it too.
Listen, it's my dream to be ravaged by Sasquatch, okay? So I was like, am I in some sort of like erotic film or what's happening?
Yeah, like that's his ultimate crush.
Oh yeah, I'm not into people anymore. I'm like, my sweet bear is pretty much the closest thing I'm gonna get to like human bear, like animal.
Hybrid.
Yeah. So I'm pretty happy.
That is so funny. Well, they do one final competition to see who gets to the bottom first, and Jen Shaw tries to bribe Mary because Mary's the judge.
Yeah, she's
That
like
was
holding
funny.
jewelry in her hand. She's like, hey, look at this jewelry.
Mary's like, I don't need none of your jewelry.
I would have grabbed him like Jen Shaw wins, and she's the
Right.
princess of the group.
So Jen and Heather are like stretching to get ready for the competition. Jen's doing lunges and Heather's doing
Just bouncing up and down.
None of them are either actually stretching. They're just bouncing up and down.
I know, right?
And then Lisa takes it really personally that Jen doesn't want to switch teams.
Okay, I'm feeling weird right now. I'm feeling like so weird.
Yeah.
But Jen, Jen and Heather have really great chemistry together.
Yeah, they really do.
They have really great chemistry
We've
together,
seen it
so I can get it.
firsthand.
So they have the Great Salt Lake Silicone Showdown.
Let's do this.
Because Heather's like, listen, get on your belly and put your boobs in front of...
You put all the weight in the front, and then you're low profile, so the wind resistance is that. Like,
Which none of them did. That's the reason why they lost, because not a single woman actually put their breasts in front of the tube. They all just landed on top.
Yes.
But Team Tits In wins.
Yeah.
Clearly those tits are saline because they carried 0 weight.
The punishment is wearing probably the world's worst wigs.
Yeah, those rigs were...
I mean, they got
haggard.
animals living in them and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
But Jen's auburn wig wouldn't look so bad if it wasn't so haggard.
Yeah, it actually looked pretty
That might be a look for her.
I may have lost a tubing, but I am winning at the wig game, which that's all that matters, okay?
Food is served, and Mary...
Right away, Mary's not eating because she has an eating disorder. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to say that.
Oh, did I just say that?
It's weird.
But if it does come out, we said it here first.
And I have to give credit to my friend who told me that.
Yes.
Mary is now brushing everything off like nothing happened with Lisa earlier.
No, we're going, whatever. Well,
yeah.
I'm crazy. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm insane. Whatever.
Lisa is getting tired of everyone always thinking her intentions are bad.
This is where I really feel for Lisa a lot. Granted, she might be having a lot of intentions that are bad, but I think in general, like 75% of them, they're really genuine.
This is another one of those tearless cries.
I've had hysterical cries where no tears left my face.
Yeah, but you're just an emotional wreck. You're not afraid to lead with emotions, my Pisces husband.
Mm-hmm. It's my best foot.
You really think that's all that it's about?
No, Angie addresses Lisa, and Lisa's like, I don't want to hear anything unless it's I'm sorry.
Yeah, true.
And Whitney tries to mediate a little bit, like, Lisa, can you just not understand that she wasn't accusing anything? She just wanted to hear.
It's like, Whitney, shh.
Yeah, no.
She doesn't want to hear from
Don't
you.
take up for your friend.
And listen,
Don't
and
insert
even
yourself.
Lisa's like, Whitney, be quiet because right now we're good. If you keep going, we're not going to be good.
Yeah. But is Lisa so defensive because she's guilty?
Or is she just really over it?
You know, on my third, I might as well start giving money to Bitch Sesh, but my third Bitch Sesh reference today, I listened to their Heather Gay interview, and Heather just recently, 2 weeks ago, the day of our Amy Grant concert, still said that she feels that Lisa was involved. Doing my research.
Well, she does have a point where she says she can't even say Google without somebody jumping
That, I mean,
down her
that's true.
throat.
But this is Mary is the exception to every rule.
Yeah, that's true.
But the worst part maybe for Lisa is how alone she feels because Jen and Meredith haven't said a word.
She does this every time.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all selfish bitches. They only care about themselves.
And Heather's like, let's just be clear. You know, let's just make sure that we're being specific and
Let's
we're
just
being
ask
clear
the
about-
questions again.
And I'm like, I feel like Heather knows something. I feel like she's seen a text. I feel like she's heard a conversation. I feel like
She probably wants her to admit right there and there that she didn't have anything to do with it, so later in the reunion, Heather can be like, well, girl, here's these texts.
Well, I think, or maybe Heather was like trying to find a loophole that Lisa could maybe admit to something. I don't know, but I feel like, again, they've been friends for 20 years. That's crazy.
People are covering their own asses at my expense.
But another hard issue for Lisa is that she doesn't want it to be told that she wasn't there to support LGBTQ rights.
Yes.
And she has a gay grandfather who knew.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's hot and rich.
Girl.
I wonder if he's alive.
Mm-hmm.
And then Angie goes over to give Lisa a hug, and I didn't love it.
But you know what? It worked.
It for now, at least.
Whitney's not having any of it. Whitney's like, there
I mean, all of them
tactics.
look at her like, really? Really, are we doing this?
If I ever needed to interrogate someone, I'd bring Lisa in. She just talks and talks and talks until you're at the point of like nauseum and like, just get me out of here. I'll say whatever I have to do to make that stop talking.
And now that everyone else is good, Jenny's like, so Mary, are we good?
Mary just can't get the look of smell of piss off of her face.
Yeah, she doesn't care. She doesn't care. And Jenny's
She doesn't
like,
wanna
first
be
of all,
there.
I was triggered because this is a bad day.
Yeah, March 15th.
She tells them all the story. And then she's also like, again, another moment where she's using those big words. She's like, so you don't know me, so don't attack me, period. Like, girl.
I know, you don't just... But when she talks about her child passing away and dying, everyone there is saying sorry, but the only woman of God preacher just sits there in disgust.
She's like, well, she's clearly not talking to me.
Yeah,
But she's clearly talking to me, but not looking at me, so I'm not...
I can't.
Yeah, there has not been any godlike behavior I've seen from Mary anytime recently. But there has been some godlike behavior from Elizabeth Rayon, maybe?
Yes, girl, you left us a review and a 5-star rating on
thank
Apple
you,
Podcasts.
Elizabeth Rayon. And I said I was going to look at Spotify, and I didn't take the time to do that.
We're busy.
We have been so busy. We still have some Beverly Hills to recap. We told you we would. We're not going to leave you hanging. But I love Salt Lake City. It's my favorite show on television. I feel so blessed it's in my life.
Right.
It makes me happy. Even on our most tired days, we can't wait to talk about Salt Lake City. So in the meantime, follow us on our social. We were very active in the hot closet today. So check out our socials on Facebook and Instagram. We are The Real Housebears. On Twitter, we are Real Housebears. And you can email us at therealhousebears@gmail.com.
You can also find us on YouTube, and you could also find us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you want to be like a superstar like Elizabeth Rayon, and give us a 5-star rating and a nice little review, you will be superstars, and I will talk about you on the podcast.
Yay. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great week.
Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
All right. It's time for a test.
Oh, these tests.
Should we just cough through this entire session?
I'm going to sound so bad through this whole episode.
You better make it work.
I'm trying. I really am trying to talk clearer. Am I? Both my ears are plugged.